All right, welcome to the Feedback Podcast, everybody. My name is Back. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 283. A couple of announcements. Make sure you follow Record Play Live on Instagram. We're about to do one for South by Southwest, but they want us back at Soho House. We killed it at Soho House last month, so they want us back. Make sure you follow. I have updates for you in the next few weeks. If you're doing South by out there, good luck, because it's going to be a shit show. Let's see. Another announcement. Go to youtube.com/thefeedback, BAK. You can see our old videos. You can put faces to the names, to the people that have been on the show. I've had Aaron Cheatham has been on. I mean, he's a regular at this point. Gabe Davis, Rebecca Trent. The list goes on and on. So anybody doing anything in Austin, been on the show at this point, I think. And a lot of funny motherfuckers. So, without further ado, let me introduce my guest for this episode. I'm really glad you came out. It's just long overdue, man. I know you like to talk, and we had many talks before, and I always enjoy them. I got Chris Castle in my building.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming all the way up here in South Dallas.
Yeah, it is. South Dallas. It's far.
I know, but it's far in both ways.
And I live way deep South Austin.
Like past Slaughter?
Yeah. Past
Really?
Slaughter.
You in Buda?
I'm in Manchac. I'm not as far as Buda.
Manchaca. Manchaca. That's right.
Yeah,
With
but they call
an
it
A or an E?
Well, yes. Why did they change it from the A to the E? Manchaca to Menchaca. I was like,
Too Mexican. I don't know what it was.
They should have changed it to Womanchaca. That would have been more culturally appropriate.
All right.
No, but it's weird though, because down there you got to say Manchac, because that's just how they pronounce it. That's how Texans pronounce it.
Right.
And I'm Hispanic, so I'm like Manchaca just makes sense.
I always say Manchaca.
Yeah, Manchaca, right? But it's not. It's Manchac.
But
So
it's named after somebody.
I
right?
just say Manchac. I don't even know the whole story. I quit listening because it's just the changing the names of the signs, and I was like, I don't care. So I just say Manchac so that I don't stand out when I'm there, because it's a small community and they're all Texans there.
Did you say Guadalupe or Guadalupe?
I don't live up there, so I don't fuck with it.
You don't say it?
I just, Guadalupe is how I say it.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't have to say Guadalupe because I don't have to represent up there.
Yeah, it's a different kind of people up there
Also,
now.
dude, it sounds stupid to say Guadalupe.
I don't know. I've heard people say, don't say Burnett. They say burnt or some shit like
Burn
that.
it.
Yeah, I've heard burnt once.
Burnt.
Yeah, burnt.
Yeah, that's like a real tap. Burnt. They're just not pronouncing
I
it.
don't know. All these little things. It's hard to keep up with. It really is.
Yes. I learned something that's interesting. You know the streets that go through Austin, the way they're named, it's like Rio Grande, whatever.
No, yeah.
All the streets there, right? That's actually representative of the rivers.
Yep.
And you knew that?
Yeah, I knew that.
All right.
I had a game about it on the podcast a long time ago.
So you talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually asked somebody to put them in order from east to west.
Yeah.
And people always get Nueces and Nietzsche's fucked up.
Okay. Well, it's hard to say either of those.
No, but just like where they're at, because they always get them confused.
How does anyone
east?
even know?
If you're downtown a lot, if you're downtown
that's
rat
true.
like I am,
That's
or I
true.
was, you got to know your Nueces and
You
Nietzsche's.
were. That's right. That's
I was
right.
a rat, and I'm proud of it. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for that, for all the steps I put in.
Oh man, yeah. You're saying the night. You're clued into the nightlife here. You throw parties. I want to hear more about your parties.
Man, we did. I'm trying to think of a good one. So all the parties I did had my name in it.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was the back in the day.
Okay.
There was
And you spelled it like your last name. You spelled like your name.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called the feedback. Get it?
Yeah.
The thing is, if you don't know me, this looks retarded. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get the joke if you don't know me.
I know.
But for the most part, it was people I knew. So I had the don't
The
call it a
back door?
comeback. No, I had the backstroke, the boat party.
okay.
I did the backstroke. I did the gift back. I did the don't call it a comeback. That was a 4-year anniversary.
What kind of spots would you have it at?
What kind of what?
Like what locations? Like what bars? What spots were you having parties at?
I did the fundraiser for Austin Music Foundation was at Vulcan Gas Company when it first opened.
How long ago was that?
That was 2015.
Okay. Wow, they've been around for a minute.
Yeah, 2015. I did Volstead on the east side.
Yeah,
That was
I
a
know
2-year
Volstead.
anniversary. I did Six Lounge, which used to be on Colorado and 4th Street,
Okay.
across from the plain one. across the street. That's where that used to be. Fuck, I've done so many. Enzo, which is now the on West Fifth and West Avenue. Now it's condos, but like all over town, really.
Cool.
That was the thing. I mean, the videos are up. Go to the feedback YouTube page. You'll see some recaps.
I want to see some stuff.
I did one. We did a flash mob.
What is that? A flash mob?
So I was a dancer for 7 years. Not the kind of dancer you think, but I was like, hip hop kind of choreography and stuff. So I knew a lot of dancers in town. And I was like, hey, I want to put together a routine, put it online, and you have to learn it for the party. So when the song drops, you got to do the dance.
What?
And you can go on YouTube right now and watch the video. People learn the thing, and the song dropped, and everybody did the thing.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. Every feedback party had something different. That was my shit. Now I'm just bragging. Now you're my guest.
I mean, I asked you though.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I think that's cool. I love throwing parties. I throw parties in my place too.
Well, tell me about the cocktail thing.
Oh, Cocktales. So I do. Have you been?
No, I told you the other night.
That you had never been.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do sex and dating storytelling. And the first 2 times I did that was actually at the back of my house. I used to do a podcast called Good Cock, Bad Cock, which just recently went offline. But I would interview people about their sexual history and good and bad stories. And yeah, I know it's not a great name, but I did 100 interviews or 105 or so. Some of them I couldn't post.
Why?
Well, people afterwards, because I am the type of person that people will open up to, which is kind of why I was doing that podcast, talking about sex in a plain manner and letting people talk about themselves openly. And so then afterwards, someone would be like, I'm not comfortable with that being up. I realize, because, a podcast is a conversation.
Sure.
And so then you lead them a certain way and then they go, And so I always honored that. But anyway, I did 100 episodes, and then 2 times we did parties at my house. And then me and my co-host at the time, Zaylee Kane, we would sit on stage and then invite people to come tell stories. And then we would just like interview them after and then kind of like roast them. And then open
it. Was comedy still? Like funny shit?
Yeah. I think that's the idea, because when I was doing the podcast, I intended it to be funny because I'm a funny person and I like to make jokes about things. But some of it got really deep because it would be an interview like this.
Right.
And we're just talking to them about their sexuality. And I would ask people I knew to find me guests. I didn't want them to be comedians necessarily.
Right.
I just I just want people who want to tell me about their sex life, because everyone got a different thing going on. And so from that, a lot of them would be very vulnerable and often not necessarily very funny at all. And sometimes like horrific and really brutal stuff.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, really or just off the wall stuff.
Like scat shit?
That's
kind of redundant.
Devoteeism was one of the more really weird things. Devoteeism is people that are into limbless people. They can only get off with people who are missing limbs. That was one conversation I did. A lot of
I'm actually the topic for today's podcast after what you're telling me.
A lot of polyamorous stuff. Anyway, or assaults, rape,
fantasy,
molestation. No, real things that happened to them.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff in their past and how it affected them. But some of the stories were just so graphic or so specific and detailed that they were just like, oh, it's not even comfortable to make a joke about in that moment. But anyway, so the cool thing about the live show and the reason I do Cocktales now is it came out of that wanting to have a more a fun version of the podcast. And so having a live audience just kind of lent to that.
Yep.
And so then people, I think, tended to tell stories that were more accessible and funny in that format. Because then it was like, okay, cool, now we're going to make fun of it, and then people can ask questions, and it's more of a community sharing thing. So now that's what we do. And then I've always, when I first started stand-up back in Oregon, there wasn't a lot of places to do stand-up. I've been doing it for 16 years. And
on and off or consistent?
On and off.
Yeah.
Very inconsistent.
16 years, man. That's
I just love it, man. I love performing. So I was on stage before that as a musician, and then it just kind of lent into stand-up. But when I first started, I would perform often at a burlesque show in Eugene, Oregon, at John Henry's, this club there. And so I always kind of like that Lenny Bruce, like vaudevillian, like where comics started, where they were kind of like an act on a variety show.
Right.
And I love that too, that when I'm in that situation where I'm the comedian amongst many performers, you kind of stand out more. It's almost like comedy's the best when it's unexpected. And so if they're not expecting a comedian, well, then that audience is maybe more willing.
That's true.
And they're not judging it so hard. Whereas if it's like, all right, we're going to go watch 7 comedians, these people are better be funny.
Right.
That's the premise. They don't know they're going to see. So anyway, I always just associate, and I love burlesque as its own art form, which is totally different.
Oh,
And so I have burlesque at the Cocktail show. So even though it's sex and dating storytelling, I also have dancers every time, and they do their own sets. And my friend Allison, Sweet Nothings, she does all of the booking for that, and she has the contacts with the dancers, and so we like co-book the show Cocktales together. And she does the burlesque. We'll have 3 burlesque sets, kind of like the beginning, middle, end, and then we do the dating storytelling in between.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, and we dress up and we class it up.
Yeah,
and just
I've seen pictures. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, and I really like the dancers because just that art form is such a good icebreaker for what the show's theme is.
Do you remember the Southern Sirens by any chance?
The what?
Southern Sirens?
I think I've heard of that. I don't know.
They were a burlesque group here in Austin. There was
Okay.
a club called Aces
Okay.
on 6th Street. And they would say, it will be the only cabaret on 6th Street. And it didn't work.
Really? How long ago was that? When did it close down?
I want to say 2013, 14, something
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
that's when I showed up.
So it didn't work because they had these burlesque dancers, all talented. They were friends of mine, great dancers, but they would do like 2 shows a night, Friday, Saturday, and in between it's just like someone playing music, and you're like, yeah, but it's just 6th Street, and you're gonna be. People were like, yeah, if I don't come to the early show, I'll come to the late show. If I don't come Friday, I'll come Saturday, because the act was the same, but they put a lot of pressure on the girls to come up with new.
That's
sets,
a lot, and that's a lot.
Exactly. So after a while, they were like, "Oh, we're going to turn it into an 18 and up club."
Yeah,
It's just too much pressure for the girls. And now that you mentioned the story thing, I can think of. Have you heard of a podcast called Strictly Anonymous?
no,
You would love it.
yeah, it's that kind of that.
It's a sex stories, but it's anonymous.
Yeah, that's
so they
great.
go to Craigslist and people call in like, "Hey, I'm a hot
Great.
wife. I just had my first threesome," and they use fake names, but they share a lot.
You know, it's interesting. I love Cocktails because of the comedy aspect.
Right.
I love being able to conversationally be funny, and then also react to things. Me as a performer.
Yeah.
So it's like fun to hear people's real stuff and then try and jump in and zing.
No, it's dope. I want to come.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just fucking calm down, dude.
It sounds
Let's change
dope.
the subject.
I've seen it.
This is your house, but
Yeah, I can go right there, in the corner. I was gonna say, there's also Bedpost Confessions. If you never,
yes, and I actually applied to be on that show once, and they turned me down based on my
Why?
story because my story was about a trans girl who I had an experience with, and I think the
trans girl like with a dick.
yes.
Okay.
I had an experience with a trans girl, and I sent them. They were like, "Hey, send us a version of your story." So I sent the most basic, but I think that because of the climate about these kind of conversations, that it comes off like, because my story is very much from a straight guy's perspective who didn't know about trans people, and so Anyway, they didn't let me tell.
How long
they
ago
didn't
was
tell
this?
my story. Oh, it's been like 5 or 6 years.
They're back. So
Yeah, but you know what's the thing is that whenever I feel like I try and I don't mind asking.
Yeah.
I will ask anyone, hey, can I come do a thing? I'm okay with hearing no.
Yeah.
But if I do hear no or I feel like I don't fit, then I don't worry about it and I don't need to be a part of it. I never met those people. I only sent a thing in, but I felt like my story was rejected. And I'm like, well, my story is pretty interesting.
yeah, it is.
And I'm a good storyteller. But, if someone goes no, I go, okay.
Fine, do your thing.
There's
Do
other
your
things
thing.
to
Yeah,
do.
Exactly.
There's other things to do.
You're right.
But I think what they do sounds cool, and that's why I wanted to be involved. So
Yeah.
I would be involved in something like that if it occurred naturally.
Okay.
But I wouldn't cold call them again.
All right, fair
If
enough.
that
So
makes sense.
Cocktails. When's the next one?
The next one is, I'm very excited to say, is at the Pershing East.
Dope venue, y'all.
Dude, on April 28th, Friday at 8 p.m. They gave me a weekend slot. It happened there just a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
They did a brunch version of the show, but I had to be at a funeral in Los Angeles the same day. So I just produced the show from afar, and I guess it went well enough that they had me back for the weekend show in April. So I'm very excited about April 28th at the Pershing East because I'll get to be there. I've never actually been in that building, and I know that it's a really great spot.
You'll love it
for this show.
Yep.
Now, I think
they look for stuff like that,
and I want to crush it at this venue, and I really want Cocktales to be a part of the Austin scene, like a thing that people go do because it's so specific. The show.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I love the show because I made the show. So
yeah, a little biased, man.
Yeah, a little
Get it? It's your baby. It's your baby. It's like me talking about record play. It's like it's your baby. You want it to grow. You want You want more people to know about them, but you only want to can hold them.
Yeah, that's right. I was letting other people hold them, and it started making me feel uncomfortable.
No shit. Yeah, it's like that's my baby. What are you doing?
Oh man.
All right, so today's topic, and now I feel bad with the topic based on the conversation we just had because it has nothing to do.
Oh no, it's fine. Whatever. I got stuff to say.
Yes, I know you do. Worst drivers.
All right, worst drivers.
So the way it works is that you start.
Okay.
There's not necessarily an order, but 3, and then we go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
So what's your feedback?
I got the first. Can I crack a beer before I say?
Sure.
this?
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm gonna crack one more.
Go ahead. You're the first guest to bring a beer.
Oh, really? Wow, man.
Here, I'll take it.
Oh, I'm not feeling good about that.
That's fine.
Oh, baby, beer.
All right. I'm not a beer drinker, but this is actually pretty good.
Worst drivers.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about this. And I actually thought of this like right when I pulled up to your spot.
Uh-huh.
Cops.
I did not expect that one.
They're the worst drivers, dude.
Okay, elaborate.
Dude, they stress me out.
Oh, for okay,
well, no. For all the reasons you're thinking. For the reasons you're thinking, too. You tell me what that makes you feel.
Yes, I got yes. They're the worst drivers.
They're the worst motherfuckers on the road.
Because here's the thing. Not only are they bad drivers, the gotcha shit sucks.
Oh, they'll pull you over and they will change your life.
Yes, I got pulled over in front of my son for the first time.
Ooh.
I was on a country road going to a birthday party for a kid, and I'm doing 60, like 69 and a 60.
Oh, you know that this story, like people's lives end at this story sometimes?
Yeah, that's true.
Guys that look like you. You made it through.
I made it. I was so glad. So check this out. So I'm on my way to this birthday party at some farm in Georgetown, and I'm not even paying attention. I'm jamming with my son. We're playing like Bluey soundtrack, whatever. And I see the cop. And as soon as I see him, and it's one of those like you're literally driving in the middle of fields. Like there's no hills. Like you see it coming.
You're giving me PTSD right now, dude.
No, yo. And then sure enough, whoop, and my son goes, "What was that?" I'm like, and the cop pulls up, and I'm like, he's like, "Oh, he's 5 years old." And he goes, "Is it going to be okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's going to be fine. My hands are on the wheel. Pay attention, son." You're going to
teach him.
He's 5. He's half white, but in that case, usually they don't care about that shit. So I put my hands on the thing. I'm like, "It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay." Dude pulls up. It was license and registration. I'm like, "Oh, I got my registration. I got my license and insurance." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I got to pull it up on my phone because I didn't print it." So I go to the State Farm app and trying to figure out a way to find my insurance and all that stuff.
Dude, you're giving me anxiety. Dude.
Yo, I was kind of panicking in a way because the reception sucked where I was at.
Oh.
And he goes, and then he takes it in the back, and my son goes, "Is that really a cop?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Why do you say that?" He goes, "He has a cowboy hat on." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is Texas. This is what they do." And he goes, "Oh, okay."
He looks silly to him.
No, yeah, he did. He's like, because he used the cops like from either like cartoons or from movies. And then this
Oh.
dude pulls up with a. It didn't even look. It wasn't even white. I think it was like Mexican or something. I'm like, yeah, this is what they do here. They play cowboy. They want to be the law, the sheriff.
Yeah.
It's like you driving a car. Why are you trying to be a sheriff? I thought he was going to ask me if he had a star on his chest or some shit.
Yeah.
And so he comes back and he goes, I'm just going to give you a warning. I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way to a birthday party as far as one of his classmates. He goes, it's fine. I'll let you go with a warning. And we drive away and he goes, I don't like cops. I don't like the police.
Oh, wow.
He goes, why you say that? I was trying to be fair because I'm like, hey, they're here to protect, but sometimes they actually go overboard or they do bad things. And he goes, I don't like the police.
His natural instinct.
And I say, why? And he goes, because they stopped you.
That's a good point.
No shit.
It's exactly the point I'm trying to make.
And then he said, we're going to be late to the birthday party.
Yes. Oh. Even your son's like, they're a buster ass motherfucker.
Yes. I mean, we were in the groove. We were driving on a country road. We were jamming to good music, singing along, and then whoop, and if the cop fucked it up for us.
It's interesting too because your son didn't really have any fear about it because he doesn't. Right?
No.
He was just like they seem silly, but his ultimate takeaway was fuck them, fuck the police.
You're a killjoy. We're having a good time with my dad, and you fucked it up with your stupid hat.
Oh, it's great to see it through the perspective of your son.
And then he told his baby mama. He told his mom. So you got pulled over, huh? I'm like, yeah, I was trying to teach my son a lesson. That's why I did it.
So you told her?
It's like he's gonna need it. He's half white, but
Yes.
in those situations, they don't look. You're black enough. You're dark enough.
Oh man. And so so I mean, aside from just the killjoy and it makes it dangerous when a cop's around. I don't know about for you, but for me for sure.
If you for sure, me for damn sure.
Dude, yeah, okay, for me for sure, right. Dude.
For damn sure.
I get it, especially, just fucking it takes my focus off the road. I'm like, okay, I'm aware of them so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think about it. And I try not to act in fear, but my awareness is so high that my bandwidth is going toward focusing on them that it puts me in danger in terms of being a good driver myself. So I feel like they're the worst drivers because they put you on edge so much. So they make you a bad driver.
So you're saying you have PTSD?
I do have PTSD.
So were you followed once, or
dude, I live near a bunch of like cop shops.
What's
where
the cop
I'm
shop?
at, just like where cops are, just like
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you call where cops hang out. Yeah,
donut shop.
there's no other there.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't think they have donuts there. I don't want to find out. They all are there. So there's like whatever they call it, sheriff's departments or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of police in the area where I live, so they're always around. But they're just kind of there, like that's where they end up or where they leave from.
Oh,
it's like the hive.
Yeah.
So they're just there. But I get it. I get the PTSD of them being around. I mean, I always kind of felt that way. I still think it's dangerous, even if you don't have a reason to be worried. They can just be worrisome because you're like,
what did I do?
am I doing anything wrong?
Exactly. Like, is my license up to date? Is my taillight working? Is my check engine on? Like, do I have a tire? Do my blinkers work?
And it doesn't have to be like that because so I lived in Bangkok for a while in 2004 and 2005. And the thing about the traffic there is like, it's historically horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as bad as India or China or whatever. I think it's right up there, top three. And the thing is, though, that they don't really have traffic cops. It's kind of like there's cops there to just kind of make sure everyone's okay.
Right.
I'm not saying cops don't do fucked up shit in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that like they don't really have traffic. There's just too much
to handle.
I think they just know like we're just going to make this worse. It's already so bad. We don't want to like freak them out. So there's just no real concept of traffic cops there.
Uh-huh.
The only real rules of the road is only one, which is the bigger vehicle gets right of way.
True.
That's the only real rule of the road in Thailand. That's
in Thailand, yeah.
Yeah, just if there's a something
bus,
bigger
yeah.
than you, then you need to be aware and make sure that thing doesn't fucking hit you. And I think that's the only rule we should really have. I don't think there should be all this other bullshit. Just fucking make sure to be aware. If something big's coming, get the fuck out of the way because it's going to kill you. Well, and that applies to pedestrians too. No pedestrian right away.
Oh, in Thailand?
I think that personally, personally, the way I look at traffic, cars, people, bikes, all that, buses, whatever, if you're small and something can fucking hit you and hurt you, well, just stay out of its way.
if you're an armadillo, why would you cross the road?
Stay out of the way. Don't put yourself in front of something that will kill you. And if you do that, and then you only honk to let someone know that you're there. That's the only honk that I think is acceptable, unless someone really did something horrible, and then you could fuck you honk. But I think Americans overuse the fuck you honk. I don't like it.
Is that your second? Because you're already...
That is my second drivers.
Go
Before
ahead.
that,
I want to go back to the cops because it also has... No, I don't want to go back to the cops.
You don't. No, you don't, dude.
I've had my run-ins. I do not want to go back to the cops. But there's the opposite thing where you ever see you see a cop on the side of the road and it's a trap. Like you're looking for the gun thing. You know, the speedometer, whatever they have.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So all of a sudden, you put your hands at 10-2, and then you sit up straight, and you turn the radio down.
And you release the gas.
Release the gas.
Don't touch the brake. Exactly. Just release the gas.
Release the gas. And now you're actually going to signal you're going to go to the left lane. Something you would never do if the cops would around.
I know.
So, like, you remember driver's ed from when you were 16, when you see a cop and you're like, oh, shit, I need to straighten up. Okay, turn the weed down. Like, yeah. So.
It's so true.
And
that's what I'm talking about.
But it's not so much, it's like a shock collar kind of thing. Like, oh, I got to straighten up. Like, I've been fucking around. I'm zigzagging, and all of a sudden the cop is there. Like, oh shit, I gotta drive right.
Yeah,
it's actually pay attention.
Yeah, it's like the difference between doing a stand-up set just like at a show.
Yeah.
Versus, all right, we're doing this for a taping. They're doing auditions for a comedy set. And you're like, oh, fuck. Okay. Make sure that I'm okay. Should I be holding it in my right hand? Should I hold it in my left hand? You know, and it's just that awareness that kicks in. That's why I think they're the worst drivers because of that.
But I mean, and they have, you ever seen, ever, probably. I'm always curious though, when you see, like, say, 3 or 4 cop cars with sirens on. Oh, yeah. Like, you're just cruising, chilling. Yeah. And like you're just chilling and you hear whoop, whoop, whoop. And then there's like 4 of them just zipping by you.
Yes.
And you go, man, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. And yeah, you're scared. And then you think, at least this is what it made me think is, are they headed off to do something? Or are they just like, hey, let's give them hell right now?
Yeah, they can actually have the power
because
to do that.
They do that, and that's another reason they are terrible examples of how to drive. Because they're always speeding if it's convenient to them.
They drive on a shoulder.
They don't follow the rules. It's like working for a bad boss. If you're a boss somewhere, if you're a manager, you have to set example for how the place runs. So you have to do all the things that you're expecting everyone else to do. Otherwise, no one's going to respect that you're asking them to do those things because you're above. And so how can you expect people not to speed and cut people off and not use their turn signal and just totally fucking abandon the rules when you know they're doing it because they can? Well, then fucking I'm going to do it too.
Like, we pay their salary, first of all. And second, so technically, if you see a cop not respecting traffic rules, you should be able to, like, pull them over and go look, bitch.
That would go great. Could you imagine?
Look, you forgot
to pull over a cop?
Yeah, that'd be dope. Like, actually, if you really want to do it right, you go, hey, we're going to sandwich you. Like, you take the front, I take the back, and you pull them over, and you go, what happened? You didn't put your blinker when you switch lanes. Here's a warning. I'm not paying your salary for a month. You get a dent in your salary for the next month because of that.
It'll be the worst way to get arrested. It was just the worst fucking story. I mean, it would just be like horrible what was happening if you didn't get like severely hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, technically they work for us. So you're like, because it's one of those, you give somebody a little bit of power and you realize how big of an asshole it can be.
Oh man.
How like what's the integrity is like just by giving them a little bit. And then you're right. If they're, let's say, but then again, if you were a cop and you got to get somewhere, you wouldn't turn the sirens on and be like, fuck everybody.
No, of course.
Exactly.
But there isn't that. I know.
You would, right?
Yeah, of course I would.
Like if your wife was a cop and you're like, oh, we're late to pick up our kid from school. Fuck it.
Oh,
whoop,
yeah,
whoop.
definitely.
Everybody get the fuck out the way.
100%. That's why I never really understood people like, fuck Bush or like whatever, like politician or whatever. It's like, dude, that's another human being who's just like taking their circumstances and making the best choices.
Exactly.
So I never really understand being like really angry at a single person. Unless it's like they ate my family or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, when fuck this guy. It's like, really? You don't know that person's story. So, yeah, I agree with you.
So, in terms of Killjoy, where do you put ambulances? Where you have to get the fuck out the way?
I'm into ambulances.
What?
I'm into it. When they come through, I'm like, all right, get that person there.
They're saving lives.
Even if an ambulance, right? Let's say they're doing that joyride thing where they're just like, we can do it. I say, fuck yeah, dude. You know why? Because I don't tense up when I see an ambulance, bro. I've never been pulled over by a fucking ambulance.
Or a fire truck.
Have you ever been stopped by a fire truck going to your fucking son's friend's birthday party?
No, that would be hilarious, though.
Yeah, no. So they're cool with me. They don't fuck with me. An ambulance has never, speed checked me, followed me for a while, and then fucking turned. You know, like they just, so no, they're not the same.
Yeah, good call. Good call. I was thinking in terms of like, hey, I'm chilling, and then this car is going to try to get in the way and fuck me over. But yeah, you're right. They don't pull your. So what's the worst, like, running with the cops? You get followed for like 10 minutes and then nothing happens? Or like you take the exit and they take the exit and you find out they're just going to some parking lot to stake out another.
I've had several of those. It also depends on whether I'm riding dirty or not.
What do you call define that? Riding dirty?
Just like if I have some,
drugs in your system?
Or like on me.
Oh.
Or, there's like a half a bottle in the back. Or, just whatever.
Yeah.
Or, I had a drink and, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, where they follow you. That's the worst. That is the worst when it happens for a while. And then I just mentally go off and like, oh God, if they pull me.
I take a detour. I'm like, I'm not going this way no more. And let's see what. I make a U-turn.
Oh, I've done that. I've been like, maybe I do need stamps from the post office. That seems like a legit place to be turning into.
That is an HEB right there. I forgot the milk.
Yeah, I do. I've done that. I've done
really?
Yes.
Purposely. And you walk in the store 100%. And you make sure they see you.
No, not like that. Not like that.
I was going to the store.
No, thank the Lord with phones now, you can pull over and just stop and look at your phone for a while, and that's normal looking.
Oh, yeah.
But I have done things like that. I totally have done that before.
Oh, okay.
But I've had run-ins with cops where I'm actually very lucky. I've never got a DUI.
Lucky. I got one.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare.
No, it was a so they have quotas that they have to get every month.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was driving home with a friend of mine, this girl I knew, and I was about to, get some.
Yeah, I was going to say, you almost said like I was with this friend, a girl. Just fucking say thought or hoe or whatever.
No, she's not a hoe.
No, of course not. Of course she's not. But in that moment, you were trying to get.
Well, I mean, we were in the car jamming, and then I'm speeding.
Okay, so you're like partying in the car.
Yeah, I'm about to get laid. I'm about to get laid.
You were swept away. You were swept away in the moment.
And she was like, yeah, it is happening. I've confirmed before we got in the car. I'm like, sweet. On the way to the house, to the apartment. And it's always like an exit or two away from your exit. And they pulled me over for speeding. I was going 72 on Mopac.
So 65?
65, but I was going 72.
Okay. You might have been swaying a little bit because you're like jamming out. Yeah. So there might have been a natural party vibe.
You probably heard the music.
Yeah.
I don't drive with my windows down, but we were really jamming. And pulled me over. I want to exit away, and I'm like, I'm cool. I don't feel drunk or anything. I'm not a big drinker anyway. And they do, oh well, do the test, and stand on one foot and everything.
Ugh.
And I'm like, and you never pass, no matter how good you do it. And I did it fine, and my friend recorded it, and I did fine. And then the dude goes, well, I got to call somebody. So they called another cop who's like notorious. I forgot his name, but he's notorious in Austin for having the highest like quota of like DUIs. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, fuck him, book him.
What?
Like that. Like, no, they made me blow, and I blew a .082.
Which is just
right
above.
over. Exactly. And I'm like, I'm fine. I live right there.
Because it's just a racket.
No, it is. And that's like 2 drinks will give you like above a .08. And so they booked me, and yeah, I had to go through the whole thing with the classes.
It was expensive?
Fuck yeah, it was.
Because I heard it's like 10 grand.
Yeah, something like that. Between the classes and then you have to, the court shit.
Yeah.
And all of that. Yeah, it is expensive. And to me, people who have 3, 4, 5 of them, I'm like, I don't know how you didn't even learn your lesson the first time. But whatever. That's different thing. But yeah, they killed my vibe.
Killed your vibe.
I didn't get laid out. Even when I got out.
Oh, yeah, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was sad. So
Did you go to jail?
Yeah, that night.
Oh,
spend the night there, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Have you been in jail before that?
Yeah, once.
Once. So 2 times total.
Total in my life?
Yeah.
3.
Okay. The story
overnight
before and after.
Yeah.
All right, well, we don't have to get into
that. For good causes.
Okay. So
but anyway, you're right. I'll give you that. The cops are the worst.
The cops are the worst drivers. I fucking nailed it, dude.
Yes.
I wrote that on the way here.
All right. So the
second worst?
No, we're going to alternate.
Oh, okay. You're gonna do
I'm
one.
I'm doing one.
All right.
This is the funny. To me, they're the worst, but it's the competitive drivers. What I mean by that is, it's usually a dude. The women don't do that shit. But like, they feel like they're in the race, but not really. So he's moving ahead, and you just happen to catch up. And as soon as you catch up, they take off again.
Yes.
And you do that again, like on Mopac on the highway or whatever. And I'm like, what are you?
I experienced this today.
What are you trying to prove?
I experience this
Who
probably
gives a
every
shit?
day. It happens at least every other time I drive.
But they look over and they're like, how dare you go the same speed as me? I'm going to show you that my car can go faster than yours. I'm like, who gives a shit?
It is like a natural, I think, instinct too. It's a male thing. You're right. It's not always male though.
Have you had a girl do that to you?
I feel like
grandma just like, fuck you, bitch.
There will be like Walmart woman energy, like in a parking lot.
Yeah.
It's not like the speed forward, but it's kind of like the bully, like I'm in this space. Like this is my space.
Yeah.
But it is more of a testosterone thing. I think you're right.
It's the dude that like will cut you. Okay, so let's say you're at a light. Let's say that you're at an intersection, right? And there's people you're waiting to take a right. But they're blocking the intersection. Like they're really pulling up to the next car, so you can't take that right just yet, or you can't even take that left. Those assholes.
That's some shitty shit.
Yeah, but those are the assholes I'm talking about.
Because they don't have control in their life. They don't have control in their life, and they get an opportunity to take control.
Yeah, and
feel like they control a situation, and when they have control over another person, that gives them like I'm control. I think that's my take on people.
Do you think
like
they get off on that?
Yes, 100%. And it goes in. First off, this is a great shitty driver selection because it does. This is something I experienced today.
I get it.
Racing ahead thing.
Yeah.
Because like I go up to work up Manchac, or I'll go up First Street or Congress from down south up to Magnolia on South Congress.
Right.
And when I go, there's a lot of stops. I don't like getting on the highway. I just I'm mosey, dude. I'm mosey. Dude, I don't listen to music. I write in my head.
Okay.
I daydream. So then I mosey up, and then I get in that situation today too, where it's kind of like they're trying to figure out, all right, which lane, the left or the right, because you only got 2, is going to have the most give to where we can get up.
Right.
So you're kind of doing that to get the position. But then I think... Actually, today I'm guilty of winning.
Really?
Yeah. If people give me a little where they do what you're talking about, like, I'm gonna beat you. Like if I can beat them back, I'll fucking do it.
And you go back and forth like
But
that?
I don't. Yeah, but I won't. It's the thing is I'm not thinking like that when I drive. I'm like, okay, what's the best way for me to get up? I'm not trying to best anyone.
Right.
But
Okay.
if someone's trying to best me, yeah, I'll be like, and I can fucking, and I can best them back and be like, ha ha, you, like I wasn't even doing that, but I still beat you. You were trying and you still lost.
Like, say you're on your way to, like, say Dallas, right? So you're on I-35 for 3 hours.
Oh God, yeah.
So you're on the right lane.
Do my sister lives in Dallas?
Mhm.
I see her like every 3 years.
Oh, really?
No, I'm joking. I see her more often than that.
No, but I'm
If she
saying,
didn't come see me, dude, I hate
look,
that drive.
if I live in South Dallas, there's no way you're going to the real Dallas.
Oh, it's so horrible. But
so,
all right.
So
yeah.
you're on the left lane and you're playing this game of you're on the right lane, but the left lane is a passing lane.
Yeah.
So you pass somebody, and next thing you know, they're going past you.
Oh yeah.
And you keep playing this game for miles, and you go, why are we doing this again?
Yeah, I won't do that. And I do, you know what? Sometimes it is like to pass the time kind of thing. You're like, oh, look at, look at the Kia Soul back. Kia Soul, I see
You're
you.
judging the car too. This piece of shit bucket.
Or if you can fucking stop. If you see them for a while and then you can like whatever, you go to a Buc-ee's or you go to
The gas
with a
station, yeah.
gas station and then you get back and then you're able to you're like, oh shit, look who it is.
See, but they can be turned to fun.
That is, and it is fun in my brain.
Yes.
I'm never like, what the fuck? I hate road rage. I think it's really weird.
Yeah, but it is such a thing. Like, I know, like when I take my son to school, it's about a 15-minute drive from here to it's like a Lamar and Breaker area. But between that, there's always in the morning, the people on the road that like they're not quite awake yet,
Sure.
and they feel like they need to pull up close to the car in front of them at all the time.
Oh, when you're like pacing, like so you're going 35 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're just right behind you. And you're like, I'm not going to go any faster.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always this sense of, yeah, I'm driving here and I'm going to make you miserable and prove to you that I can tell you, or I can pass you, or I can cut you off. I'm like, why all the attitude? You go where you need to go, and you don't mind anybody else, or mind other people driving, but don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it should be more like a shared thing. It's so dangerous. I mean, on the real.
Yeah,
driving is
machines
so
are killing
dangerous.
machines.
It's horrible. And it's one of the scariest things I do every day. And whenever I drive, I think about that. I do have a moment when I drive in the morning. I'm like, let's get there safe for Jane and my baby.
Because you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And I
It's-
always tell Jane when she'll leave, I'm like, hey, be safe. Especially, always, because I think about that. It's just like a tragedy that can happen out of nowhere.
And not your fault either.
Mostly or usually not your fault.
Yeah.
In the case of like Jane, for example, my girl, I'm always like, oh God, it's just horrible, man. It tears people's lives up, and it happens just because it's just something you do every day. You don't think about it being so dangerous. So I'm always on the side of like, let's just make this not dangerous for us. So anyone who's super aggressive doing the kind of stuff you're talking about,
Yeah.
if they're making moves where I'm like they're unhinged, I let it go.
Yeah, me too.
If it is more of the fun kind of like I see what you're doing there, I'll do it just to give myself something to do while I'm driving.
Right.
But I'm not endangering anyone for it.
I'm just like, I don't have road rage, but I'll make nothing racist sometimes. But I'll make comments about other people. Like with my son in the background, in the back, I'll go, yeah, people are slow in the morning. And he'll actually repeat that. He goes, why is this guy, why is he so close to us? So
See,
he goes, this guy won't let us pass through. He goes, that car won't let us pass through. He says, that's not nice. I'm like, I want to say, yes, son, there's some assholes out there on the road. We got nothing else to do.
Bitch. Something specific.
I learned some things, son.
I might actually, I don't have my kid in the car, so I haven't thought about that because he's not old enough to.
No, yeah, give it a couple of years.
Yeah, but I say racist, fucked up shit. If I have
we all
road rage, I'll say fucked up shit.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to say it.
Well, I was going to say I don't like use slurs very often.
Uh-huh.
But I do use the N word a lot in the car by myself.
Oh, you're not the only one.
No, so
this is no surprise,
no,
Chris.
but when I do it, I don't do it in anger. I'm gonna tell you, dude. I do it in celebration. I'll explain.
You make it a Snoop lyric? What do you do?
No, I'll explain. So did you ever see? This seems like left field, but did you ever see the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the one that was filmed in San Francisco? It came out like the early aughts. I think
the first one with
it's like
Eric
Bana.
Eric Bana, yeah, the first before.
Did you see that?
Yeah, but a long time ago. I don't remember it much.
Yeah, and it sucked.
Yeah,
it was a horrible
movie. I don't remember it.
So I went and saw it in Oakland, and it was in a predominantly white neighborhood. And that movie came out, everyone showed up because it was filmed in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So people were there for it. And there was one group of black kids that sat in the theater, but otherwise it was mostly white people, and it was pretty packed.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie fucking sucked. I don't know if you remember, but it was horrible. It was so boring.
Yep.
And like an hour into the movie, he hasn't turned into the Hulk. And there's like this fucking lovemaking scene with like the electric guitar, the saxophone or whatever. And dude, the whole audience is like shifting in their chairs and shit. No one's saying anything. And then one of those black kids stood up, dude, and he just yelled at the screen, "Turn green,
nigga."
Yeah.
I can say it.
So, dude, whenever I'm at a fucking long red light, bro, I just think of that kid, dude.
You say it out loud?
Yeah. Come on.
You know what? That was the long reference.
But dude, I just think of that kid and I fucking say that shit.
That's actually funny.
Yeah, and it's like that's
actually funny.
It's just a funny.
You know what? I should be in the car with you when you do it. Just
no, see, I wouldn't though. I'd be like, turn green, ninja.
You know what? I'll pull the windows down so everybody can, and we'll go to South Austin. We'll go to East Austin, and I'll pull the windows down. You can see it.
Oh no, no.
I'm like, no, he's okay. He's quoting the movie. He's quoting the thing from the movie.
I actually, not to get off on that topic, but I used to fucking really be one of those sheltered kids who I grew up in Oregon, dude, and it's just a bunch of rednecks out there, right?
Sounds like.
But I'm also like, I always just was one of those people who thought like, man, it's stupid that word has power. But I didn't grow up around black communities. So I didn't understand how it has negative. Yeah, how heavy it is. So I had that like idealistic, like, well, fuck that. That word shouldn't mean that because I don't feel that way. Mm-hmm. But I learned after a while, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to say that word.
No, just let the cop say it.
Yeah, I don't need to say that. That's okay.
You don't need to.
I don't have an obsession about that.
No, it's okay. Do 23 and me, and then that won't even be enough.
No, I know. I actually did. I'm about to get the results back.
Really?
Yeah, my
what do you think?
One for Christmas. I haven't. I know a lot of it, but I'm actually curious to see.
What country? Do you know?
Where I'm from?
Where in Africa?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm at all African.
Everybody gotta have.
Well, yeah, we're all African. We're all African. But people say that. But actually, okay. So I have heard in the last few years, people say that it's possible that some of the origins of people also came from Central America or South America, and that history has been forgotten or been overshadowed by the idea that we're all from Africa initially, and that maybe is in science up to debate. I've only heard that recently, and
interesting. I don't know.
I don't know enough about it, but I
interesting theory.
It. But okay, so I don't know what to expect, and I definitely don't know like if I'm from a specific region.
Actually, if I ride with you, just say turn green, and I'll yell nigga out loud. That'll even things out. Then you'll be fine.
Dude, but to bring it back to what you're saying, I really despise road rage. I think this is why, though, and I hate being in a car with someone who has it.
Oh.
I don't like being in a car as a passenger with someone who has road rage.
Yeah.
And I've heard people be like really gross, say stuff I'm like, oh, I can't believe you said that. Even though it's in the context of.
Yeah.
And I think what it is I think it's an expression of self-hatred.
You think self-hatred? Like your life sucks, so
you hate yourself. That's why you say it, because
you project it.
The other person doesn't hear it. You hear it.
Right.
So if you're saying it out loud, you're the recipient of the negativity, then you are directing it at yourself. So
to solve that, pull your windows down.
Pull your windows down.
How to solve that problem? If you really want to project, get one of those like speaker things that cops used to have on the top
like
of
the
their
Blues
cars.
Brothers.
Yeah, have one of those and have like the thing and go, get the fuck out the way,
Road.
bitch. Look, there's a song called Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. So there's some road rage out there.
That's a road rage song.
Yeah.
I used to do that kind of thing. I think I would because I think it's an outlet for people.
Yeah.
I don't think road rage is necessarily about the road thing happening. I think it's about like my wife won't talk to me about real things, or like I didn't get the promotion at my job, or I'm unfuckable, or whatever the fuck you're worried about, or whatever. And then people use driving because they can.
Yeah.
Because it's very rare someone's being like, what did you say? Let's fucking
Look,
fight.
it's gonna happen. I'm sure some people got shot or beat up because of that.
Dude,
roll your windows up.
Dude, I have a friend.
This is like the zoo.
It's a friend of mine's husband, and it's their story, but in a road rage incident last year, it's been over a year, in San Antonio, he got shot in the head.
What?
It went out in his temple, and it went out, and he lost his right eyeball.
Somebody followed him?
They had like one of these like get the fuck over things, and then they went on to like an interstate where it splits like this, and then once it went this way, he shot out. He shot at him.
Oh, wow.
Hit him in the temple, and it went out his eye. He lost his right eye.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How shitty is his life?
And I don't know, dude, and I hear reports, and it's their business, but, and I don't know the details in terms of how involved he was in a negative way. You know what? I don't know the details because I haven't heard it from him.
Wow.
In terms of like, did he push this person to that? Is this someone who's a serial, road rager, does this kind of shitty
people
thing?
do that for a living? Like they get up, like they don't go to work, they just drive around
shooting people,
yeah,
or
just get pissed off all day. Like I'm gonna fuck somebody's day today.
But it's hard for me to believe that there isn't some level of were you fucking in a situation that you should, because it's the jungle out here, and that's the thing, at least for me, about road rage. And I think now in not just driving in my car, but with people in general, in public, when I'm dealing with other people, I just think it's so important to be respectful to people and be polite, even if people are being disrespectful and impolite to you. Even then, I think that you should still be as respectful and polite as you can, and remove yourself from situations where people are being disrespectful or rude to you, because you don't know what that person's up to, what they're going through, and what they're capable of. And it's the jungle. You will get fucking bit.
I have a story. A friend of mine, he pulled up. It was like one of those like take somebody else's parking spot. Oh, I saw the parking spot first.
Oh, that's man.
The dude was like, "Oh, really? You took the spot?" He went back to his car, opened the trunk, pulled out a shotgun, went, "Shh, is it really your spot now?" Like that level of, oh my God, like I got issues. It's like, because you never know. You never know what people are going through. You never know what goes in their head. You know what kind of day they had. They could have talked to how to get in a fight with their spouse or whatever that morning, and all of a sudden they just snap, and your day is fucked because
you couldn't spend 2.5 more minutes looking for another spot where you had to walk for 90 seconds or whatever.
There's a great old Disney cartoon. Remember the old Disney with like there was a narrator. Like, this is the House of the Future, and there's a dude that would like explain. There was one with Goofy, where they show like, yeah, meet Dave. Dave wakes up in the morning, goes to work, and it's like Goofy with like nice suit and everything, like all happy.
I can imagine
that. And as soon as he touches the wheel of his car, like he turns into this demon. The horns grow, his eyes get all angry, and he's like, I'm about to kill a motherfucker here. It's a great cartoon. It's an old school Disney cartoon.
So it's teaching you about road rage?
Yes. The whole thing is about road, and then he gets where he's supposed to go. By the time he did that, like he's bumped cars, his car's all fucked up, and he gets out the car, he goes to work. It's a great cartoon.
Yeah, I could see how it would. You don't want to be like that, man.
No, you don't. You don't. But like it's like, again, you don't know what goes on in people's heads. But if they have any reason to really want to fuck with you, they can. They're driving this metal thing. They're protected. At least they feel like they're protected, right? And then I can fuck up your day because this is what I do.
Yeah.
And maybe I do it outside of of the car too, but the car is where I have some power. I can actually like really get on your nerves and really just it's like a little poke to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I can't, dude. I can't do it. I mean, people still get under my skin in any situation. It's always a possibility, but I can't engage in that kind of stuff anymore.
No, life is too short, man.
Life's too short. It just doesn't feel good to be angry.
Yeah. So what's your second? You said people horn. Is that the honk?
No. So the cops was the first one.
Uh-huh.
So I would say second worst driver was Asian cops. Man, they suck at driving.
I've never seen one. I've never seen an Asian cop.
No, I don't think so either.
Asians have bigger aspirations in life than being a cop.
I know.
There's too much cultural pressure to be a cop.
They don't make enough money to be a cop.
True. Like, come on, be a lawyer, be a doctor. Really, a cop, Lang? You gonna be a cop?
Unaware drive. I mean, let's see. So I haven't thought about it. I'm really trying to think about it now.
The daydreaming
Well,
ones?
picked one. You picked a good one, which was actually probably what I would have said second, and that's
Okay.
why I went off on the road rage thing.
Yeah.
Because I do feel that in my heart. I hate people that do that. But man, I got a couple of like situations where fender benders, where it was just like an unaware person. So like we were saying, driving is dangerous, right?
Right.
So like, look, man, I've had a drink and driven before. I'm not gonna lie, and that's why I brought up that. It's amazing to me. I never got a Dewey.
Yeah, knock on wood. This ain't real wood.
It's not.
I got no real wood around
Come on,
here.
that's not real.
I don't think it is. No.
Wow, it's impressive. It seems very real.
All right, let's say this is. I'm not trying to jinx you here, but all right,
It's good enough.
Good for
It's
you.
Good enough for me. But people that don't respect how dangerous it is to be driving, and
you mean to take it so easy? They're so laid back that they're oblivious to the whole thing.
they're not respecting how dangerous it is, so they get blotto. Like, so I got hit by this woman, Natasha Al Safar. Can I say her name? I don't even know the person.
Did you just come up with that name?
No,
Was
that's
that
her
really
name. No, so she was married. She must have been. I don't know. I don't want to make a judge. I think that was her married. So she a taken last name. She was a white girl, Natasha.
Shout out to Natasha.
Yeah.
Did she ever hear this?
Yeah, so she fucked up my truck. But what happened was I was visiting my sister in Dallas. I was in a parking garage, and I was way well on my side. Because you know how parking garages can be super tight.
Right.
So it's like, if you don't know them, you got to take it slow, especially around those corners. So when it was in one of those corners where it turns up and around, you got to do the little U.
Yeah.
I'm like 3 feet on my side of the yellow line.
Uh-huh.
I hear this woman coming down, and I'm like, I can tell this car is like being reckless.
Like she's screeching.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
tires
she's
screeching.
Oh, she was coming up, and I'm leaving out. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then I'm like, oh fuck, all right, this person's coming fast. So I even moved over like more. Dude, I'm like, oh, she's gonna hit me. She comes, hits me, hits the car, stops, looks at me like angrily, like I did this to her. She hit me. Then hits her gas, pushes her. This is her nice ass brand new Beamer into my like old school 94 S10 like beat up truck. I don't even know if I think she just like accented the fucking already fucked up like panels I already had. I don't know that she did that much more damage, but she hits the front, sees me, looks mad like I did it to her. She hit me. I'm stopped. She hits the gas and then just runs her car from the rest of the length of my truck.
What?
Yeah, so she hit at the front right by the tire. I'm looking at her. I'm all like, hi, I'm here. Hits the gas angrily and fucking pushes her car all the way, the whole length of my truck. Just, I can't get out of the door. It's shut.
Hey, when you have to take a shit, you have to take a shit.
Jesus. It's like one of those people, she couldn't believe. To her, I did this to her. She was definitely like having some issues. Got back from happy hour, couldn't handle her shit.
Yeah.
And then when it was she was so oblivious, whatever, on her phone or whatever, that when she hit me, she thought, I can't believe you were in my way. Oh, fuck you, and hit the gas. And then I looked her right in the eyes.
Natasha, fuck you.
Dude. The good thing, what was so funny is I got out and I was so calm. I was like the dude from the Big Lebowski calm. Like I was all, hey, I was like, are you all right?
Oh, she stopped. She didn't drive off?
She stopped. But we were in a parking garage. She's going up. She's not going. She lives there.
Oh, shit.
And my sister lives in the same complex. So I go, hey, are you all, I had to get out the other side.
Uh-huh.
And then I go, hey, are you all right? And she's like, what was going on there? And I'm like, you hit my truck. I was stopped. You hit me and then you hit the gas and you went through. But I go, but I'm okay. Because, she could have hurt me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so I just go, I'm okay. Are you okay? And she was like, well, what were you doing there? How the fuck did how did that happen? Oh, dude, she was drunk. And
Or she was on some of that shit.
And so that's what I was going to say. This is my next worst drivers. Drunk drivers that can't handle their shit. If you're going to drink and drive,
be a pro at it.
Be a fucking good drunk driver. Be aware of how drunk you are, what your drink driving style is, and make sure that you're within those limits. Because ultimately, it's not good to be in any impaired state, whether there's a substance involved or not.
Right.
If you're sad, you're angry, you had a bad day, you're sick, you're not feeling well, your eyes are out of focus, you've been drinking, you've been smoking, you had too much caffeine, whatever it is, make sure that you know what your ability is. Because there's some people that be drinking and driving. I know them. I'm cool with it because I've seen them drink and drive. I know how they drive.
I know you'll make it home okay.
I know you'll be all right. That's right.
And then make it and go, oh, thank God. I don't know how I got here.
Yeah. But then there's other people who just fucking get drunk, roll the dice, and they don't know how to do it. They didn't eat dinner. And then they go kill a whole family. They fucking kill
I don't know why I'm laughing.
They kill a whole family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You started, there was like, I never understand, but when you're driving and you drive into a store or a restaurant
or a house.
I'm like, how you had way too much confidence in your driving skills.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, I'll be all right. I'll make it home. Next, you end up like over a fire hydrant with the water splashing out and shit.
Yeah, and it's not the first bad choices you made.
No, yeah.
Because you've been making bad choices that got you there. Because if you made better choices, you'd have better friends that would say, hey, don't drive.
Exactly.
But you're surrounded by people who don't give a fuck about you. And then you know what I mean? I'm not dogging on anyone. I'm just saying that driving is dangerous. And just know your limits. I'm not even against drinking and driving if you know what you're doing.
Do you have a way to, like, when you drive to, like, kind of keep yourself up? Like, listen to a song out loud, open the windows.
I've done, like,
sing along.
So what's the longest drive you've ever done?
Longest?
Like, where you're just consistently in a car, going.
I drove to East Texas once. I was young. I drove to East Texas to meet this. This gonna sound stupid. I can't believe I'm saying this. This girl that I met on a Yahoo chat room.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's how I lost my virginity, dog.
Yahoo chat room?
I lost my virginity to a girl I met in a Yahoo chat room.
Okay, we won't get to that at the end of the show.
You know what I'm saying? ASL.
Yes, ASL, sex location. That's right.
Dude,
That's
I'm
right.
40 years old, bro.
I'll be 41 Thursday.
Damn.
So I know we're the same.
Yeah. I lost my virginity that way.
I remember.
Don't be embarrassed.
It was a beat up Toyota Tercel, and I'm like, there's nothing out here. If I get stopped, or if the car breaks down, I am fucked.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those drives, and I got there.
But you were going for pussy though.
I was I was 17.
Oh, dude.
Something like that. I just got my license.
You didn't even need a car, dude. You could have drove there on your boner, bro.
Yeah, I could have rolled on my balls the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
And I get there. I'm like, you look nothing like your picture.
Oh, she didn't. It wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. I stayed. She's like, you want something to drink? I'm like, I'll take a Coke and be on my way. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh man, that's so awkward. I'm surprised you stayed for the Coke, but you were being polite.
Yeah, man. I was like, I drove all the way out here. I better get at least something to eat or drink, and then get on my way. So pathetic.
Mine worked out.
I was excited.
We had a pre-arranged, so we did the Yahoo chat. But then we like landlines. Like I had to call from my parents' house. She sounded cool, and I said, "All right, here's the deal." I was like,
Here's the deal.
I didn't have to drive super far. I was like, "I'll show up. I'll knock on your door. You open the door. If you think I'm cute, invite me in, and then I'll come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I think you're cute and you invite me in, I'll come in. If I don't think you're cute, I'll just say, hey, this was nice try, but because there was no photos
Yeah,
or no videos or
yeah.
anything.
I talked to this girl every day for weeks. That was the thing.
So we like chatted maybe for a couple days, and we were just like, let's just do it. But I was like, same age. I was 16, just about to be 17. So I just turned 17, and then I went out there. So we talked for a little bit. And then she was gorgeous. It was like fucking crazy.
Yeah, very, very, very rare.
Dude, it could have been a man.
Yeah, it could have been a man.
It could have been anybody.
You trusted that ASL so hard.
Dude, and I lost my virginity to the West Side Connection, I remember.
The song?
No, the album. She put
the Ice Cube album?
I think so.
Yeah,
Well,
Ice
it's
Cube,
like a
Mac 10.
compilation. Yeah, there was a bunch of artists on it.
Yeah, it's
West Side Connection. It had like, it was a CD.
Yeah,
it had,
Ice Cube, Mac 10, and WC.
So I lost my virginity to that record because she was listening to it. She was hanging out with a bunch of Mexican gangbangers. And that actually, she was half Mexican and half Native American, or as I like to call it, 100% Native American. And she actually freaked me out because I think she had some hand tattoos and shit. And I just went to like a redneck ass school. So I thought she was a little too fast and loose. So I was like, this girl's like slutty. Like maybe
Didn't
fucking
matter.
I didn't care, but I had these like puritanical thoughts put in my mind from whatever my environment was. So to me, she was scary because she was too like hanging out with these gangbangers and shit. It just kind of freaked me out. So we did it the one time. She probably would have been my girl and was cool. But I think that was it. I couldn't. I
think the best part of this story is that you listen to West Side Connection.
Dude. It was,
buy down. When you come to your town. So good, dude. Buy down. When we West Coast bound.
And I honestly, like, it's probably one of the longest, like, sexual bouts I ever had before coming. But I think I was just too nervous.
No, of course. That's usually the case.
So I was just like, watching the clock. I was watching the clock and I was like, I'm going forever. Like, I thought I was so good at it. So actually, like, I impressed myself my first round, and it's been a disappointment every other time.
How do we get to this?
I don't know. Anyway, we were talking about.
Oh yeah, just people are oblivious when they're driving. Actually, I was in the parking lot of my bank, and I'm stopped like in the, I don't know how you call it, the aisle, I guess.
Yeah, where you're going through like the ATM thing.
No, just like in the parking lot.
Okay.
Like I'm stopped in the.
You just stopped in the roadway. You're not parked.
Yeah, I'm not parked. Some lady gets in her car and then just hits the pedal in reverse and hits my passenger door car. And I'm like,
she didn't even look back.
No. And I'm like, you didn't see? I mean, I'm literally, you could see from like my whole car is behind your car. And I was there when you got in your car. And you didn't think to look. You just hit reverse and just went for my door.
Did she have insurance?
Yeah. It
was on her.
No, I mean, I ended up giving the car to my sister because it was a BMW too, actually.
Oh man.
And the thing is, like, those people, I think that when you reach a certain age, because there's the people who drive who are just like daydreamers. They look at everything. They look at the billboard. They look at the car in front of them, or they're playing banana card. Look at their phone. They change the thing down, whatever. And I'm like, or they're just old.
They're just old people.
Just old, or they're Asian. Like, to your point.
Yeah.
And you're like, I think that you should go and pass your driver's test every X number of years.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, just like guns. Like, you have to go and practice guns so to stay sharp and you know how to do the thing in case shit happens. Same thing here.
You're right. They don't really do that.
No, you do it, get at 16 and you never have to do it again.
That's a good point.
Why is that? You should do it again at 40, actually midlife crisis. You do it once. That's your, like, your, how you call it? Your reminder. Ed, you know that you're not supposed to, like, to speed up at a yellow light, or when it says don't take your right on red. There's times it says you're not supposed to because there's a school there or whatever, or don't do a 45 on the school zone because you might be or go too slow either.
Yeah, you
'cause
can
then
be
you're
a
a pedophile.
reminder.
Exactly, and then you do it at 40, you do it at 50, 60, and then at 70, sorry,
Uber.
can't drive.
Get your grandkid. You better have kids.
No shit.
Yeah, I failed my test
How the fuck did you fail your test?
3 times.
I'm sorry, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
This
you
is
know what?
idiot category because you do it with the book.
No, I blame my dad because I'm a good driver now. But my dad was a bad teacher, and then so not to get too into it, but like it's a psychological thing. He would always just yell at me when he was teaching me to drive.
Like stick, or was it just?
Well, he taught me to drive. Well, he taught me to drive both. Mm-hmm. We had a big ranch. I grew up like on a farm, so I drove around the farm and stuff. But just in terms of like the road rules, I didn't know. So I could drive all right, but nah. So the very first time I took it, the parking portion, I got one of the cones stuck in the wheel well. And like the driver, like the student, the teacher, he had to like pull it out. My dad was just standing there shaking his head. So I think I just like built it up every time. Yeah, I'm a slow learner.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but I made up for it because I haven't got a Dewey.
I mean, I remember taking
all my failures were early.
Good. Yes. Now you're a better person.
Got them out of the way.
Yeah, good call. But like, I remember taking the test because I got my license at 17 because I got here at 16, and I remember you could take the test with the book.
Oh, you don't even have to. No, you'd have to do both, right? You do the book test.
But even with the book test,
you have to go do the driven test.
Yeah, but the driven test was like you had to put so many hours, I think, or some shit like that. You drove around. The dude took me to Lake Travis.
Yeah, you do like 25 or 30 minutes driving around.
Exactly.
And they go, okay, turn left here.
Yeah.
And then you got to make sure you're doing all the things.
Yep.
Right? 10 and 2.
And then you do the book one, but you take the test with the book.
Yes.
So you copied. You're not learning shit. You're just copying.
It's like
you have the answers right there.
Yeah.
So you're not really taking the test. What I'm saying is, take that, make it harder, and say, okay, now you're 40. You got at least 30 years or 20 some years of driving behind you. Do you remember how to do?
It would be so fucking humiliating, though.
I know,
when you've been driving and then you would go fail the test would be really
like if you can't parallel park at age 40, they should sorry, no, you're on probation for if you've been driving for that long.
I think they might do stuff like this. I think driving's going to become like passe.
Don't say that. Then somebody got to drive.
Well, people will be driving, but I think there will be more automation. And
AI robots going to drive.
I think we're going to start leaning into it. I think it's a ways out, but I think we'll lean. I know for sure that they're trying to implement where everyone has to do alcohol tests before they get in cars, and that's something they're like trying to roll out. Which I mean, I'm not against.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna take some time.
But like in France, there's a point system.
What does that mean?
So that means like you every year you get a certain amount of points. And depending on your driving, let's say you get a speeding ticket or a bad parking or whatever, you take points off.
Oh, fuck that.
And then if you're at 0, like, sorry, you can't drive no more.
That
then you have
sucks, though, for parking tickets?
Yeah, for anything you fuck up. And French cops are assholes, too.
That sounds horrible. I don't like it.
No, they're trying to take it away, actually.
Okay, good.
They're trying to enforce, I think it's just driving under the influence, because it's not that big of a deal there that it is here. But they're trying to enforce something like recently. There's a comic, huge comic, French comic. Been around since I was a kid in the 80s. He was already doing comedy. Very famous in France, and he recently got into a car accident where he killed one of his friends was pregnant. The baby died.
Oh,
and
God,
somebody else going to the hospital.
Oh no!
So this is going on right. This happened like 2 weeks ago.
What? What's the name of the comic?
Pierre Palmade.
Okay.
And he was driving under the influence of cocaine, and they told him, like, "Hey, we can drive." And he said, "No, I got this." And he was high on coke, and he got into an accident. Baby died, or
Oh,
somebody else was. I think someone else
of the
died.
passengers in his car died.
Yeah, in his car. Yeah.
Oh,
And so he's now he's going to jail. Like
Yeah.
jail.
yeah.
And they're like, we don't give a fuck that you're one of the most famous comic in France. You're going to fucking jail. They're going to put him no special treatment, nothing. So
Oh.
and the thing about France is that they're very reactionary, kind of like here, where something happens and they go, oh, okay, now from now on, we have to everybody. If you drive on the cocaine,
Oh, wow.
you're done.
Oh, wow. He's not gonna get the Matthew Broderick treatment then.
No,
He's getting
or any other celebrity.
the
Yeah,
book thrown at him. You know that Matthew Broderick did that.
Uh-uh.
I think in Ireland.
that happened there in Ireland.
Back in the day, he killed a whole family.
Oh fuck! And he got a career.
Drunk driving. He was drunk, killed a family, and he got completely.
Y'all live with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I won't. No one wants to live with that.
Ugh.
Oh, Ferris Bueller's
Ferris
fucking
Bueller's
day off.
He was really off that day.
Yes, he was.
All right, where we at? Is it my turn?
Yeah, let's hear
Okay.
it.
Well, you said people were oblivious, right? That was your.
Yeah, people that are just kind of like not self-aware.
Okay.
Well, not like generally aware of everyone, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a shared
I
experience.
have to say this because I think it kind of goes back to what we're saying, but just slow. Just slow,
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Oh,
Like you have
dude.
no business going 40 on a highway. Like I don't care what you're on or how old you are. No, yo, that's just too much. That's dangerous.
Weed driving is not as dangerous as alcohol driving, but it is annoying.
No, I mean
Weed
you just
drivers-
slow. Yeah, but we drivers.
Slow, indecisive, sudden.
Yes, you don't know when to take a left.
Yeah, sudden.
And then road rage
turns.
comes out, and I call you, whatever.
And then you're like, hey, whatever, man.
Yeah. Well, it's time, really. Why are you in such a rush?
Yeah.
Because I got places to be.
Oh, no. So yeah, I do agree.
Everybody.
And now there's the adamant speed. Now I got to admit this.
You just slow motherfucker.
I've done it sometimes. If someone, because you talked about this, someone riding your ass.
Yeah.
All right, so you're like on Brody. Let's just say.
Uh-huh.
Let's just say you're a 40-year-old comedian who lives in Manchac. You're on your way to work, so you're driving on Brody,
Uh-huh.
and it's 35. Now I'll go 45, 50 because that's what's expected of all of us. But
Sure.
if someone,
in what rule book? I don't know, but yeah.
but I mean, come on, and at fucking 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m.
Oh, fair enough. Go ahead.
But everyone's headed to work. But if you ride my ass unnecessarily, like way up on my ass, I become a law-abiding citizen
You slow
real
down?
fast. I do the fucking speed limit, and I'll even go slower if they keep riding my ass.
You know what? That's textbook correct reaction
It's so
to somebody
shitty.
riding your ass
Yeah.
from the driver's license test. From the driver's test.
Do the speed limit,
Like you hit the brakes so the lights
Brake
come on.
check, brake
yeah,
check.
that thing.
which is fucked up and dangerous to do. But I do brake check people if they're all up on my shit, because I'm just like, what are you doing? You're not gonna get to the, especially if it's like you pulling out right,
Uh-huh.
you're turning right, and there's a light where everyone stop.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't matter how fast you go, you're gonna have to stop.
Right.
But there's someone who's coming down the road and you pull in front of them, and then they're just like, dude, what the fuck? And it's like,
Like,
why
it's
are you in
gonna
such a
be
hurry
red.
to stop? Look in front of you.
It's red. Like
Look
you're gonna stop.
beyond the one car that pulled in front of you. Like, oh, you slow. Yeah, I'm slow because it's not going to pay to speed up. I have to stop.
Yeah. So
you shouldn't be doing 65. You should slow down. You're going to have to stop. So, and it's a time thing. You're not saving any time.
Yeah, but it's also the dude that like he's on the access roads about to get on the highway
Uh-huh.
and he's going 40. And
Yeah.
you're like, dude, now you're fucking it up for
Now
me.
you speed up. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
they
no, he
don't.
doesn't. Yeah, but it don't.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah, I'm talking about that slow bitch.
Yeah, that's the
Or
worst.
dude, I don't mean to make it
Oh, dude, no, it's
a
funny.
gender thing.
It's funny because this just brings up, for me, I think of it at work because there's this old dude at work. Because I work in a restaurant.
Right.
And so it's tight quarters.
Uh-huh.
We're doing all this shit where you look down and you intuitively know, all right, these three people, you wait in a little pocket, wait for these servers to come by with their tray.
Right.
And then you move. Do you got this one dishwasher, bro? and it's not his fault.
You want to say
He's
his
just
name?
old.
Like-
No, I don't even know his name. That's
Oh, okay.
how fucking shitty I am. No, I know his name, but I'm not gonna say his name.
All right, Travis.
But dude, he's just fucking slow. He's like fucking 98. I don't
Okay.
even. He's old.
But he's still working.
But dude, well, I mean, it's just like, what else is he gonna do?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his personal
You are
life.
98.
I don't know. He's a nice guy, but man, it's just like in that situation where we're all like moving around. I know we're not talking cars right when, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's slow. It's just like, you motherfucker, just get the fuck out of the way.
Yes.
God damn it.
No, it's irritating, but it's irritating because that guy's there every time you're in a hurry.
I don't care if you're old.
Yeah, exactly.
Die or get a ride.
Yeah.
I do. If I see that they're old, I always go like, ah.
No, but you pull up next to them to see what
If
they
they're
look like.
slow and
Yes.
and they're like in a nuisance to me, then yes. When I come by, I look at them.
And you're like, you shouldn't be here.
Well, I'm like, you better be fucking old. You better be fucking old.
You bet, right?
Better fucking okay. All right, you are fucking old. And then I think about the stuff you're saying. I'm like, someone should fucking test them because they shouldn't be driving.
No, they shouldn't.
No, and I do agree.
This is not helping anybody. You're
Dude,
taking up space with your fucking what's it called?
they don't even do anything important.
No, otherwise they've been going faster.
Yeah,
they got
just-
nowhere to be.
I don't think they dude. I think they could see. It's scary, dude. Old people driving is scary.
I think they're waiting to die on the road. It's like a death wish for them. Like,
that, dude,
take me out.
I do think about that with old people. I do think old people sometimes do things because like, well, maybe I will die now.
Yeah, it's like I make it not my fault, and I'll be at peace with that.
And it'll be quick.
And I'll ruin
hopefully.
someone else's life because I have to live with me dying,
Yeah.
killing me on the road.
Yeah.
That's selfish.
They should just go skydiving.
Yeah, no shit. There's plenty other ways to die.
Yeah, there's plenty of other ways to die. And a car wreck, man, that's one of my worst fears.
Ugh.
I think it sounds miserable.
But okay, so it's also so this is in France. When the light turns green, if you don't go, the nanosecond it turns green, you're gonna get honked at.
Really?
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
Yes. So I'm always surprised when I'm at a light and the light turns green and I go. I'm the first one to go, and I look back and they all just slowly
Here. You're talking about here. Yes, I agree. It's true.
And they would have a nervous breakdown if they drove in France.
For the amount of people that run red lights in Texas, like at the end, you know, when it switches back and it goes red, people just the last like 3 cars go through a red light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised how often it takes them forever to go when it's green.
Yeah.
It's like they're making up
Oh.
for the people that were slow when they're green,
Mm-hmm.
because then it'll turn yellow and it's just like everyone's going. I'm like, dude, it's red, and people just go.
I mean, the dude in the car, 5 cars back from the light, will honk and say, "You better fucking go."
Yeah,
That's how like
you're talking about in
in
France.
France, yes.
Okay.
And in Senegal too, actually, they do that.
They do the same thing.
Yeah, they'll honk at you, like from way back, like you better fucking go.
Yeah.
If there's even a light.
See, that was the thing about Thailand that was remarkable, is it was the worst traffic and no one's honking. And it's because they just have like this fucking elevated, chill strain of Buddhism there,
Mm-hmm.
where everyone's like, we're all late. Yeah, fuck it. And no, I mean, that's just their attitude. Everyone's like, they're on island time in a big city. Like,
Wow.
and I like that. I prefer that vibe.
Really?
Yes.
No
I don't
rules.
like the fucking, I don't like the, hey, motherfucker, I'm coming. You know, it's just like, dude, you get there when you get
Oh, no.
there.
In Senegal, as we're still late all the time, but it's like if you don't force your way, you're not gonna make it. If you're trying to run errands, you can only do 2 errands a day.
Because there's just so much traffic.
There's so much traffic, and then you got people on bikes. You got people on scooters and kids on scooters, like 16-year-old kids on, like 3
that's how
of them on
Bangkok
one.
is. That's how Bangkok is.
Yeah, Senegal's the same way now. And then there's no lanes.
It's the same in Bangkok.
There's no lanes. It's like it to each his own, and there's potholes all up.
I do feel like, though, and you tell me if this is true in Senegal, in Thailand, they don't do the honking, but they all do seem to have a better awareness of like, let's fucking go.
Yes, they do.
So, but it's collective. It's not in Thailand. It's collective. They all understand. Hey, we all got places to go. So it's like it's like a rain. No one's fucking off. We're all fucking going, man. And like I said, get the fuck out of the way because people will just fucking whiz by you right next to you.
In Senegal, it'll be because even places where the road is narrow, but you still have full cars, like lined up going in the same direction, and people will walk on the road as well. So that can slow shit down all the time.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, you got animals crossing. You got all kinds of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's probably the same thing over there.
Yes.
And you're like, I have to deal with all those things. Whereas if it was structured, there's lanes. There's like my car. If I go over the lane, it's like self-corrects. Unless I turn the blinker on, it will self-correct. It will bring me back into my lane.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you got to blink, bitch. That's
it's okay. Oh, I fucking hate that.
no. Well, so when I go
It's
over,
dangerous.
when I go over the lane, it goes. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate cars telling me what to do. See, I'm more for
Get a bicycle.
I'm more for the third world, for lack of a better term, style of look at this giant lane, because then it's like assumed. You say, all right, buses, semis, big fucking vehicles, all right, they get right away. Everyone else is around them. You got the fucking motorbikes in between.
Yeah.
Just squeezing in where they can. I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it. Get in there. If you can get ahead, go ahead. And then you got like the bike lane, and then you got like the fruit cart / cow lane.
Yep.
And then you got whatever, then the gutter and the sidewalk and all that shit. And then pedestrians. I'm into it. I think it's a better system.
You see those time lapse of an intersection in a third world country?
Oh, yeah.
And you don't.
Fucking
it's like they're
nuts.
just flying
It's
and they never get hit.
nuts.
They never get hit.
Yes.
They're
And
like pilots.
But it's because they all respect that we're in the ocean and we got to flow through it. You got to watch out for the sharks.
Yep.
Don't step on the guppies. Be careful. We're all out here. And you know what? Fucking highest death rate in Bangkok is, I'm sure it's similar in a lot of countries, for people like 18 to 35, motorcycle accident.
Yeah, same in Senegal.
Yeah. It's
I
just,
saw a kid getting run over.
Oh, it's not good. You know, it's just fucking horrible.
And people don't have insurance.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, of course, right?
No,
I'm insurance. So they don't care about their cars. So if I'm forcing my way, so they're roundabouts. Fuck a light. It's a lot of roundabouts. It's a French thing.
Yeah.
Right? And they go.
I'm down with the roundabout.
Huh?
I'm down with the roundabout.
Well, it's a trap because if you don't force your way, so I've been in just this past holidays when I was there. Dude is driving. It's not even a nice car, but it'll be like the girl in your garage. Literally just push your car out the way.
Oh yeah.
To force himself.
Oh yeah.
Fuck the right of way. I have the right of way. Wherever I'm going, I have the right of way. So I will push your car with my car
fuck that.
and fuck up my lights.
Whoa, now that's
just to get over you because fuck you and your fucking taxi.
That's why you
and
need the Buddhism.
Us.
You need the Buddhism there.
No, we Africans. We don't even fucking.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Is that
we ain't got no Zen nothing.
See, because then there's Costa Rica, right, which is much more like farm style. I spent some time there, just a couple weeks once. This is the thing they do that is fucking fucks with me, is for fun because they're just bored. People will see how close they can get to the oncoming traffic, and that's a
what? That's the game.
That's a cultural thing. So you'll be driving, and then the car coming at you goes like fucking within a hair, and then that's just like that's a cultural like fun thing to do.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Whoa.
Yes.
Yo, no.
So it's not even a fuck you. It's not.
This is to fuck with people?
It's I don't know. I don't think it's to fuck with anyone. It's like something that I remember someone tried to explain it to me when I went there, and they're like, people do this here. So watch out. It's not like I'm going to put you in danger. It's like they can see how close they can get without hitting you.
Okay, they have a death wish.
Yeah, there's a death wish thing.
Seriously.
That was scary.
They must be really bored.
So what you're talking about...
You can't jump from planes.
What you're talking about, I wonder if China is similar. I wonder how China is. I've never been. I would love to go.
I don't know.
But I wonder, because Bangkok, like I said, they have that Buddhism, so there's this like chill, like island time type of vibe. And I loved it. I was like, this is the most intense traffic I've ever seen, but everyone's kind of being respectful and chill. But then it sounds like similar traffic in Senegal, but no, people are being disrespectful.
Oh yeah, and then there are cops, but the cops are not in cars because they can't get in. If something happens,
So they're like walking around and they're on bikes and shit.
no, not even on bikes. Like if it's like one of those intersection cop, whatever.
Yeah, they got the whistle and all that shit.
One of my cousins is a cop, and I tell him about some of the stuff I see, and he goes, "Yeah, but the hardest part is there's so much traffic that it's hard for us to get through, because there's no such thing as, hey, there's an emergency." Whoop, whoop, whoop. Everybody get out the way. Everybody's like, yeah, fuck off. I got places to go too.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go see my grandma since this morning. I'm still stuck in traffic, and I left at 9 a.m. and it's 3 p.m.
Oh.
Seriously, it's so bad because again, there's no rules. It's like it's a free for all. But you have a free for all system in the country where people don't really care much. And I hate this shit on my home country,
but maybe the human life value is low in those situations. Or?
Not that it's low. It's more of it's a mentality. It's a lack of discipline. That's what it comes down to.
Sure.
Because if you're like, as you said earlier, hey, I'm in this friggin' death machine.
Yeah.
That I could really hurt somebody.
Yes.
I gotta be vigilant and I gotta be respectful of others. And I gotta, okay, you go, okay, now you go, now I go. There's some code with all of that. But if you're not a disciplined person, and as a community you're just not, and it's just like, hey man, I will drive on the sidewalk, which is really sand, just to get around you, because you're stuck in a pothole. Fuck off. It's like it's a free for all. It's the best way to put it.
See, I prefer the free for all, but it also this conversation has made me appreciate the wide lanes and straight, clean, well maintained roads of Texas.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Except for that road, I feel like I was in some backward ass fucking country driving up here because I took that.
Yeah.
Waze took me up that weird ass road to your place.
Yeah, take it at 3 a.m. It's a trip.
Yeah,
drunk. It's also a trip. Or high.
But otherwise, Texas is pretty good. People are aggressive drivers here, and it's a little dangerous because people love to do 90 and 100, and they got big trucks and all that. But for the most part, it's actually like pretty.
No, we got it pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, space. Like the fact that you don't have to learn how to parallel park ever because the parking lots are so freaking big, and the parking spots are so big.
I drive a Fiat too, so it's like
you drive a freaking Matchbox. That's what you got.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you would fit well in Europe.
I drive like a safe motorcycle. Well, my girlfriend's English, so that explains.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
All right, so what's your last one?
Like worst.
You did two.
I did two. Oh man, worst drivers. Shit. I didn't do my homework. I riffed the first one.
That's fine. I got one.
You do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. I really it just bothers me. This is not my top. There's no order to this.
Sure.
But there's something about people who drive trucks that just
like
irks
big trucks.
me. Yes, that just irks me. And to your point earlier, that the bigger the vehicle, the more dominant I am. It's like I'm King Dingaling on the road. So if I'm tailing you, my headlights are right in your freaking thing.
I hate that. I mean, I drive a Fiat, so I deal with this.
Yes. So you feel like because they're higher up, they dominate.
Well, it is psychological, right? They're higher up than you.
No, I know.
Literally.
Yes, but it's like, I mean, I'm not saying that with your Matchbox that you're rolling around. You're nothing.
People disrespect me all the time.
They could drive over your car, is what I'm trying to say, with their tires.
People disrespect me all the time.
Like the trucks that they have two front wheels, but they have
the lift kit.
They have two wheels on each side in the back.
Oh, God, that's the worst.
Those fuckers.
Yeah.
It's not even F-150. It's like, oh, you're cute. But if you're one of those, hey, I got big tires. Like, I got, like, borderline monster truck.
Yeah, no, it is like, what is the point of
what are you trying to do? You have to jump out your car.
There are some people that do stuff with these trucks. I get that. But a lot of the time it's a dick swinging contest.
Yeah, those guys.
So it's kind of like, cops are generally, maybe with the exception of your brother, are people who they like to be assholes. You know, like I would say a lot of people are like that. A lot of cops are like that. So it's similar to like the big truck driving person. It's like it's a personality type
Yeah, like
that is
I can
drawn
exactly.
to this truck. But there actually is a little bit of the small man syndrome, I think.
I mean, you've heard the like, oh, you got a big truck, so a small dick.
Exactly. That's
the
why I
thing.
drive the Fiat. Because no, that's why I drive the Fiat, because it's a passenger car, and that's so I can fit my giant cock into the second seat. I know it's a pain in the ass, but I have to drive a small car.
No, but when you get to a point where, and on top of that, you have a. I feel like every truck should haul something when they're.
But they're
road.
never hauling anything.
I know.
Or if you see one of those big trucks and it's clean, you're
Yes.
like, fuck you.
Yeah, because in the commercials, they're doing shit.
So, dude, I gotta call Texas out for this because Texas.
Thank you.
I'm serious because I'm from Oregon, right? And Oregon's redneck as fuck. It's not people. You know, they associate it with Portlandia, and that Portland is like that show.
Mm-hmm.
Portland is like that, but Portland is one city in a very big state,
Mm-hmm.
and is mostly conservative redneck motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a final vestige of white people. You know, it's like the Oregon Trail. It's like the final the West.
Right.
So it's like that. But the trucks out there, there are still a few people that drive it. They use it like an ornament or whatever, like an extension of their dick or whatever. But for the most part, they're covered in fucking mud.
Yeah, they're logging shit.
They're fucking logging shit, or they're just out funning around, fucking driving on logging roads and jumping their car over shit and like.
Yeah.
And mudding, they call it mudding. They go because we have a lot of mud up there. It's raining a lot.
Right.
So you fucking go out and do it. And then you got the winch on there to pull yourself out. And they're using it like that.
Yeah.
Texans,
No.
they do a lot of this belt buckle wearing shit when there isn't a cow in sight. You know, the cowboy boots, the pearl side. There's an aesthetic here.
I bet you that couple pulled me over has a truck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
He
sure.
drives a truck.
Cops drive trucks.
Hey,
There's no cops driving a fucking Fiat when they leave the station, dude. No.
Yes. But like, you know who drives the truck that always has shit in the back?
Who?
Mexicans.
Yeah, they have their family in the back.
They have family. They have lawnmowers. They have,
That's true.
They have sofas.
They're using them.
They're doing shit with it.
They're doing shit with
But
it.
white dudes,
They love to just fuck. It's
why
just
why would you restrict the amount of space in your car just to have something in the back and not use it?
dude, it's such an interesting point. It is. Texas is very much the epicenter of this phenomenon that you're speaking of.
I try to describe it to my friends in France because they're like, because usually, French European cars in general are smaller, right? And because we remember the smart car,
Yes.
yeah, it would never work here. That's a freaking ant on the road compared to those
Dangerous.
monster
I mean, the
trucks.
Fiat is like you're pushing.
Yeah,
it.
borderline. Yeah, like if you're driving a Miata, like you're really asking to be stumped.
I'm
That's what
very
it is.
careful around semis and stuff in my car, and I tell my girl the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, make sure that they're aware that you're there. Get past them quick. Don't hang out in their blind spot. You got to move past, like, not just big trucks, but like semis and shit.
Right.
I'm like, you never hang in the back. You get past them,
Yep.
and because they might not see you, and they could fuck you up. And so the same with big trucks too. And this is the worst, is that sometimes you get the asshole driver. Who's that little dick motherfucker who has that big truck and sees your Fiat and thinks, fucking this fucking Californian motherfucker.
This is Texas.
And puts me in danger.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude.
Maybe that's I think that's my number one.
I put the steer horns on the fucking front to represent.
Pull your dick out of your window.
Come on.
Like,
Dude.
hey.
Look at this fucking thing. Come on. I'm undercompensating. You little dick motherfucker. But it is kind of like it's an extension of ego.
It is.
And it's a way that you can go do it. Because look, I do stand up, right? And that's an extension of my ego too. And I use it that way. In a way, that's my big truck. In a social conversation about I do stand up. Ooh, you do stand up. It's like a little bit of way of flexing.
Faces, though.
I don't do that. But what I'm saying though is that in a way in my life, that can come up in a way that makes me feel like a little bit my fucking kit's raised up. My tires are a little bigger than yours, okay? I'll get up on stage and I'll talk to people. All I'm saying is that I have that in my life in some ways too. I can recognize why someone might want to feel that way, why they want a big truck to feel big about themselves, right?
Right.
But that motherfucker can't get on stage, and that motherfucker can't draw or whatever it is they can't do, but they can go take a lease out on a big fucking truck.
Yeah.
And they can do that. And it's one of the things they can do. So they will because they don't have other options or ways to express themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's always been sold to me when I explain to my friends. I go, so you're watching the commercials for trucks, and it's this like, yo, manly man, you
Yes.
know, like the truck is on the hill, you know, logging. The voiceover is like this very like, yo, if you're a man, like basically, bitches don't drive these trucks. You can't be a bitch and drive this truck.
Trucks.
Yeah. The new F-150. You know what's big about Texas? It's like one of those things.
Yes.
And then...
Because they're playing too.
And it works.
Yes.
It works, but it's still a utility vehicle.
Yeah, and they're not
they're not utilizing anything of it.
No. Well, they don't need to. I have a neighbor who, he works at a pet shop. He got fired recently. Not to give away his shit, but he drives one of those big fucking trucks, and he's my neighbor. I know what he's up to. He goes back and forth to work at a pet shop.
But he wants to put up this front that he's this man.
This big truck. And he doesn't do anything with it. He gets food delivered to his house nightly. Dude, he's our age and he had a heart attack.
Oh.
We don't really talk. He's been my neighbor for a few years. They're renters.
Wow. I don't want to put you on blast, but goddamn, that's 3 strikes.
We call them the Pet Shop Boys because several of them, they're like roommates in this house. And there's nothing against them. They're cool. They gave us some fish that they caught. His brother shot a deer on property. They gave me food. They were real nice.
Oh, okay, so they do that kind of stuff.
But we don't, yeah, they do. I think they're adjacent to that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I think he mostly just sits around. I don't know what they do in their house. I've never been in it.
Uh-huh.
I would imagine they just watch TV. I don't think they leave or do anything. I know because they're never outside on their property except for to let the dog out or whatever.
Right.
I never see them walking around the neighborhood. I'm not surprised they had a heart attack just from knowing that the guy's sedentary. You know what I mean? I know he's a classic American who doesn't do shit. Sits around his fucking house.
You don't deserve that truck.
You also don't deserve that heart. You're not using it. You gotta go out and walk around.
You can't have one of those trucks, and you pull up, and your job is your job is working at the DPS.
Yeah, you fucking sell
or the post office. Like
you're
you can't
selling alpha pellets to fucking rabbit owners. This guy's selling like fucking dewormer to people with chihuahuas and shit. I mean, what I'm saying. I'm not to say that his job's a bad job to have, but he doesn't need that truck. I know it. I've never seen him use it for anything.
Give him a Pentos.
Lived there for 4 years, 3 years. I've never seen him. It's immaculate. He really changed it and got a new one too.
Oh wow!
And and it's just like, dude, you don't. It's totally a status symbol. And I've never seen pussy at the house. Maybe he's gay. I don't know. I'm not judging him. I'm just saying, I've never seen.
Yo, you are.
I've seen his family and shit. I'm just being real, dog. Look, I'm just being real.
You're dogging on your neighbor. I hope you hear this.
I pull more pussy with my Fiat, dude.
You better.
Yes.
You better, because it's false advertising at this point.
Yeah, it's also like, cars are cool, and I have driven in nice cars, and it does, man, it makes a difference in terms of how people view you.
Sure.
It can. But the kind of people who are going to be impressed by those kind of things, that's pretty shallow.
Well, you wouldn't, like, even if you own a Lambo, chances are you don't work at the post office or at HEB.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, at least I know that's guaranteed. Okay, you drive this kind of car, so I'm assuming you're well off. You live in a nice
neighborhood. Because it's out of the range.
Exactly. But if anybody can get a truck.
Exactly.
Anybody can get a fucking truck.
Exactly.
You can get a beat up truck and still act like, oh yeah, I'm better than you. I'm higher than you, and yet you're a teacher. I mean, no knock on teachers, but like I expect you to be a construction worker, a contractor, have your own HVAC company, something.
No, but people are because then that's what you would use it for.
Yeah.
I think that they will make laws that will make it more difficult to own a vehicle like that if you aren't using it.
They should. If you have a family.
Why are you sucking up all the gas? You're not even fucking using that tank for what it's for.
And if you have kids, why do you need the room? You wouldn't put your kids on the truck bed?
No.
Exactly. So you have less room inside the car just so you can show that you have a big dick?
I think we'll see that in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see major restrictions on gas vehicles just because they're shifting that way. The global economy is shifting that way, and that there will be all these permits and work permits and stuff for you to have certain vehicles, because it doesn't make sense. I'm not for more government restriction, but I think that that's going to happen.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. Do. I think so. It doesn't make sense.
But people are like, "Oh, fuck the government! I want the government to tell me." I'm like, yeah, but come on, man, just be practical. It's not even about that. It's just be practical, be a good person, because you are in the death machine, whether you like it or not. That's what that is. The amount of engineering, the amount of stuff that now cars can do. I'm not even going Tesla. I'm just saying in general, like that's like now it's standard. I was telling you earlier, my car would tell me if I get over a lane. So all this technology is there, and you want convenience and you're willing to pay for it with whatever car you're driving, and yet you don't realize how much of a liability that could be just because you want to show off in your nice car.
Oh,
and you want to ruin somebody else's day.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Yeah.
Because you fucking can.
Well, it's just like that's it, dude. Like, I think that you should have to prove that you've taken out like you've gotten like certain number of chicks numbers. Like per month. You got to be bringing at least a girl home.
At least.
Not to make it about my neighbor, but it's been 3 years. Like, I've never seen a lady walk.
I want to meet your neighbor.
I don't want to judge the guy. Dude, he puts a Trump thing up.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he is that Texan conservative dude, and I don't judge that. I got no problem with this guy. But it's just this type where I can just see it, man. It's like some people, they get caught onto those kind of status symbols, and they think that's what's important.
Yep.
And I just feel bad for someone who works their ass off just to achieve what a commercial told them makes them like above the person next to them.
You wouldn't do it if it didn't work.
It's so sad, but it's not even working for them. And a heart attack at 42. If you're fucking, you're gonna not have a heart attack at 42, unless you're like fucking so much.
I want to meet your neighbor. I want to come down to your neck of the woods and man shack.
Yeah, you gotta come.
And then I want to meet your neighbor, and then we'll just sit outside and then just watch him going in and out of his house.
You never see him. He's not now. He's laid off, so he's just home with his fucking immaculate trucks out there. And it's funny because I get shit shipped because I do man shit in my yard. Mm-hmm. Like I gotta get like fucking plywood and stuff, and I can't use my Fiat or my girl's Soul to move this shit. And I just think, man, you got that big truck there, but I know it would be a huge like bum out if I said, hey man, you mind? Can we get some shit from Home Depot? Because I can't, I gotta get like a charge to get them to send it to me. Mm-hmm. You got that truck. He'd be put out by that.
Be like, no, you put a dent in it. I just cleaned it yesterday.
Yeah, like
it rained.
Yes, and we're not good enough friends. It makes sense to me to ask. We're not friends at all.
I'll say fuck your neighbor.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't have any will toward him, but I'm like, man, it's sad.
It is. It's people's lives. All right. Then we're almost at 2 hours.
Wow, well, let's stop, dude. That was a lot.
No, but this is good. Where can people find you, all that good stuff?
Oh, man, check out my show, Cocktales, at the Pershing East, April 28th. If you're in Austin, shows at 8 p.m. Definitely come to that. You can see on YouTube, if you look up Cocktales in Austin, Texas, Cocktales, spelled like stories, Cocktales.
Like DuckTales?
Yes. You could, and you look up Austin, Texas, you can find it on YouTube and watch the shows that we have filmed.
Are you filming all of them?
I filmed a lot of them. So there's 11 of them on YouTube. Mm-hmm. They're like just a 2-hour show. Maybe skip through, find a story you find interesting or whatever.
Nice.
But I don't, come to Austin, just
go to Magnolia and say what's up to
Say
Chris.
what's up to me, dude.
Yeah.
Say what's up to me. I mean, I'm around. I do stand up and shit. I'm working on my online presence more.
Yeah, we all should. I'm like, the thing is...
Should we, though? Or should some of us chill out and maybe work on having something to say?
Well...
Because that's my thing. It's not that I'm against anyone out there whoring themselves. You should do it. You should get... How are people going to know if you're not out there? But also, maybe...
But you have shit to say.
Maybe you have something to say.
Here's the thing. I think you and I have lived long enough to where we have... I can't believe we talked about traffic and drivers for this long.
Yeah.
So we have shit to say. We've lived,
True.
we've seen shit, we know shit. So we actually have shit to say. The thing is, actually interesting is what I should say. Interesting shit to say. The thing is, we got to keep up with these. Sorry, I say it, but youngins, we ain't got shit to say, but they say anyway all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So it's like it's a race to being relevant, really. And you're like, do I really want that? But because I think that genuinely, if someone and that's why you're here, and that's why I think you're a great person to talk to.
Oh, thanks
is
for
that
having me. I had a good time.
is that this right here is what's priceless. When you're talking to a void, and you hope that people actually see, hear you out or say something or comment or like or share. Too much. It's like, look, you want to know me? Come talk to me.
Agreed.
I'm the dope one here.
Agreed.
I'm the dope one. You have to realize that.
I mean, you're dope. I like talking to you.
That's what I'm saying.
But it is weird though. You go out and we're talking about stand-up comedy specifically, or at least in my mind, I am right now. And the people that I see online who do have a presence, some of them, and then when I meet them in person, I'm like, you can't even speak to me like I'm a human being.
That's what I mean by that.
And it's just so discouraging. But the thing is, man, is it's all projection. So I'm glad for everyone to be doing their thing.
Sure, by all means.
But
do what works, but whatever your intentions are, do you. That's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
But what I'm saying is, and we're showing our age again, is that when you live long enough and you know what it means to have a connection with somebody, friendship, relationship, business relationship, whatever nature of the relationship is, you know what it means and you know what works for you. And you don't have time to deal with the bullshit.
That's
like
true.
If I'm gonna talk to you, I want to talk to you as you. Not as a title, not as a representative of blah blah blah. Just that's all I want is you as an individual.
Sure.
And that's it. But what's out there, what's online, that's not necessarily you.
No, and usually the people that are projecting the most are showing the least of themselves.
Exactly.
And it's like this fabricated version, and that's not everyone. There's people that are interested in doing
Sure.
it. I say that all to say that I don't have a lot out there or ways to connect to me because I never really felt sure that I had anything to say before.
Are you kidding me?
Only recently have I felt very confident in myself to say something. But
How recent you talking?
the last year.
Really? Year
Or two maybe. But yeah, just only recently started to come into my own where I feel comfortable sharing my thoughts. Because
That's interesting.
Because I just never had anything to say before. Nothing that I felt
I find it very hard to believe.
Of value. I didn't feel like I had a lot to say of value. I was more into like listening to other people.
That's fine.
And you know what I mean? Like
That's
I
more
just
than
never
most.
really felt sure that I knew what I had to say. And I'd say the pandemic, going through that, I started to really be like,
oh,
this is what I was coming into it right before the pandemic. I started to feel like I had a voice and I understood how I wanted to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pandemic happened and I had to like reevaluate. But now I'm really feeling good about it.
I think you'd be the perfect type to have a show when it's just you talking, nobody else.
Oh man.
No, seriously.
It's a nightmare.
No, I don't think you. I really think that you'd be that kind of person where I can give you 3 words and you just go off for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, I just talk.
No, exactly.
But what value does that add? And you know.
No. Here's the thing. We've been talking for almost 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
There were some gems. We've learned some shit, and we actually put our finger on certain things in the conversation we just had. Now, people will draw their own conclusion, but what I'm saying is, you contributed to an interesting conversation, and for our sake, that's what I appreciate. People will think what they want to fucking think.
Yeah.
So don't sell yourself short on that, because you
to
walked
sell
in here
myself short.
saying you were a great conversationalist.
I know that I am.
All right, so
Other people
sell
tell
it.
me, so I'm
Exactly. Don't
I
brag.
enjoy it.
You're right. Don't brag. Let other people tell you.
Yeah, other people tell me I'm good, so I'm all right. Yeah, I enjoy talking.
Someone easy to talk to is a rare thing these days.
I know.
So
That's true.
Be a representative and be like, hey, if you want to talk to me, holla at me.
Yeah.
I won't dismiss you. I won't talk shit back.
Yeah.
I'll make a few comments. I'll be funny with it, and you'll feel at ease.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good quality.
It's not road rage here. We're just being respectful. We're two human beings on the same planet at the same time, exchanging ideas. That's all.
It's like a dying art form.
Oh, it is. Man, we can talk for another 3 hours. I feel like it's already.
Well, thank you. I had so much fun. Man.
No, this is great. This is great. All right, so follow Chris Castle. What's your Instagram stuff?
Oh, check out Cocktales. I'm on Instagram as Chris Castles.
We'll have all the links and stuff. So.
Yeah, I'll send you all the stuff. Check me out, and if you're in Austin, come out to a show. Say hi. I'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, just make sure he's your server at Magnolia on South Congress, and it'll be a good time. Tip him well, and congrats on the kid, by the way.
Thank
I meant
you.
to say that.
Baby mama's calling me right now. I better call her. I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yes. So thank you again. We'll talk to you next time. Make sure you follow the feedback everywhere on socials, the YouTube, and all that stuff. Record Play Live on Instagram. We got big announcements, big things coming up. So stay tuned for that. We'll appreciate you. We'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.